Morning. Coffee. Okay. Today, I'm going to get right into a card pull. It's just the way that I'm feeling the energy. And I'm going to pull from a card deck that I haven't been pulling from on this channel. But first, I'm going to do an angel card as always. So much swirling energy this freaking week. Mercury's officially retrograde. And today we have a Mars-Uranus square. But let's just slow it all down. Slow it all down. Get a card pull and move with the energy. And stop fighting the energy. Stop, trying to make it land somewhere. Let's let it show us where we should be placing our focus. Oh, I have two cards in my hand. I'm not sure which one to... This one. Well, that's funny though, because I saw them both. So the one I did choose was abundance. That was the one I felt the most energy towards. But the other one was inspiration. And those feel very, similar and bright and like juicy. And that's a really good way to start this. That feels amazing. I have had a shift a bit in my own inner processing that those cards feel like very aligned to. But let me just pull a card first before any of that gets talked about. And then this is the card deck that I don't typically pull from. It's called Wisdom of the Oracle. I love it. It's just, I don't know. I don't know if you guys have the same experience if you pull cards or anything, but sometimes just certain decks at certain points of your life really kind of jump out at you more. And then today this one was like, pull me, pull me. Okay. I always fan my cards out and then I just go and put my hand over them and I can feel it in my stomach when it's the card. Like it gives me a little ping. Like the gut, you know? Trusting the gut. Okay. This is the card, I suppose. Let's try and do this on my ring light showing up. I don't know. Thinker. Can you see that? 44. All right. Thinker. That's interesting to pull right now. And let's see. Okay. Strategy, being analytical and logical. The ability to reason and strategize is the focus now. This is funny because this is exactly what I was going to talk about. Take things at face value and follow the logical path. Your calculations will prove to be correct, for in this moment there is no deeper meaning than what is obvious. Things are exactly as they seem. You have all the information you need. Keep it simple and you will win the game of life you're playing right now. Yeah. That's really interesting. And then the protection message of this card is you might be suffering from analysis paralysis. Thinking has its place, but trying to figure everything out logically is not going to work right now. Your conclusions will likely be faulty, and you may act upon false assumptions that will get you in a jam. Give your mind a rest. Do something creative, exercise, or meditate. Soon you'll come to your senses, and an aha moment will bring new clarity. That's perfect, because right now, okay, with Mercury retrograde happening, you know, there's always this talk about like it's a time to withdraw your energy and be reflecting on, you know, certain things that are happening or It's also a time where like ghosts of your past visit, where somebody will come into your life that's either literally like an ex, a friend that you knew previously, or a familiar energy in another person. Like that's very common for Mercury retrograde to have happened too. So that is part of what Mercury retrograde is here, helping us kind of like dig back into things that are maybe needing some more completion and resolution before going forward. And so then for me, I just had this like epiphany yesterday where I was realizing that these situations that are happening in my life, like that I have been trying so hard to make change. Like I've been putting so much of my energy into, wait a second, no, this isn't like, I want it to stay the way that it was. Like this is coming in and disrupting my peace and my comfort. And I feel like I've been spending the last 2 months just being so, just kind of draining out all that I have left, even though I've been in burnout. So it's like, I don't really, like, this is like the last thing that I wanted to be going through. But it's never like, we always all have different levels of things that we're working on. And so, and I just had this like moment yesterday where I was thinking, I'm in this sort of like moment where, how when, I don't know if you've ever had this experience, I've had it a couple of times, where you are in a relationship and you live with that person and you guys have done so much to try and make things work and feel good and feel like they used to feel, like that's a lot of times people will say like, can't we just go back to the beginning? I miss the way that it used to be, and that's what I think in my mind. Like I miss the way that things used to feel like when I had my dog that died, and then like even before COVID, like we kind of all go back to like I miss the way it used to be, and it keeps us stuck there. And but then you finally kind of hit that wall of reality where yes, the universe turns up the volume and it makes it to where you're so uncomfortable that you have no choice but to change. Some people changed before then. I'm not one of those people. I'm one of those people who I push and push and push and resist because to make a change requires so much of me and my nervous system. Like being on the spectrum, I have a system in place, like for my day, routines in place, familiar things that I don't have to think about. I don't have to make decisions about. So I set all of those things up so that I can function in the day without having a meltdown. And, they're very fragile systems. So when I'm being asked to change out of those systems, it takes a whole other level of like, I have to surrender over and over and over, and that takes a lot for me. It takes a lot out of me. So I will keep trying to keep the thing that works well enough in place until I can no longer do that, until it's like just I can't, I'm being forced to change, which is where I'm at right now. And so so then I was thinking, yeah, like when you're in a relationship, you guys realize that the relationship is ending, and then it's time for one of you to move out. It's usually been me. But you haven't found the place yet, and you haven't, that thing ended. So the energy of that home, of that relationship is starting to like separate. And when you go back to that energy, you feel like the misalignment because it's no longer the energy that you're supposed to be with. And so I'm at that place right now with where I'm living and having this moment of like, I keep trying to sort of make where I'm at work, like give it one more shot, keep trying, keep, that kind of thing. And every time I go back to that energy, the energy is like louder and louder. And it's like, no, I feel the push. I feel the like push out of the nest. Like, you're not coming back. It's time for you to move forward. And so, there's that moment when you're done with the relationship, you're searching for your next place, the next, part of how do I leave this space? Then where do I go? And, you have to sort of like maybe take steps to start avoiding the person. Like you leave for certain periods of time, they leave for certain periods of time so that it's not like that uncomfortable, like you guys are sitting together, type of thing. And that is exactly like what is happening for my life right now, is taking all of my energy from pushing back and trying to make this thing work into bringing it back into myself to find the way forward. I can't make a place show up. Like I can't make the situation here change. And so I keep hitting these like moments of just, okay, now where do I go? So then yesterday, I just had this realization of like, I know when the issue is the worst. I know the hours that the issue is the worst. And at this time, I have the flexibility to just not be here during those times. Even though that was what I was digging my heels into, was like, this is my space though, and I should be allowed to be here. I should be like not having to take myself physically out of a place that I pay rent for. And like I'm just going through all these, like, how the mind kind of just has a hard time accepting change. But then I had like this excitement rise up in me and I thought, why don't I take more power in this? Why don't I take some control in this, the illusion of control, but like at least some agency, and say, okay, well then I can start structuring my days where I say in the morning I have a window of time and then I go for a period of time to avoid the really, really intense, bad, like, I mean, I don't even want to get into it. It's because I don't want to put energy into it anymore, but it's not a good feeling and it's not safe. And so like to avoid that energy, and not sit in it, like that's the thing too. Like sometimes for me, it's like I freeze and I stay because I'm too afraid to move. But yeah, I just had this like inspiration to like that's like I love that card that I pulled. Inspiration to, well, I can treat this as like go out and go to a library, go sit at a cafe, go to the park, like have these moments that are like just for me, just to sit somewhere and be around energy that I choose, start moving into the energy that's next. Like I don't know, I'm not saying it's necessarily going to come from these places, but these places are like a positive charge where this one is a negative charge. And that's a good way, I think, sort of to gauge as well, like where your compass is pointing you is like when you step forward into something, do you feel like a heaviness and a withdrawal, but like, maybe like more of a resistance, or is it something that sort of feels like, like curiosity and possibly excitement? And those right now I think are so crucial because we are in such a transitional part of our experience, and to have those little tiny nudges, that are like, yeah, this feels better. If it doesn't feel great, like what would feel great? I'm a homebody. I like to just be home. It's hard for me to be out in public. It's hard for me to not get overwhelmed easily when I'm out. But I can still choose the spaces that feel like comforting. I have places that I can go around the area that I know are regulating to my nervous system. And it does feel sort of like, oh, this is what's being asked of me. I'm sitting here kind of like waiting for life to show me something, but all the while I'm just kind of sitting here. I'm not just sitting here. I'm obviously working and doing things and researching, it's like, I'm not just like, oh, okay, I'm just going to put on like whatever. But there is a feeling with this energy of like, it's an internalizing withdrawal into self, but it's requiring action as well. Like it's requiring you to start actually putting energy towards what is new and possibly feeling scary. And, that's kind of like the direction that I'm starting to feel in my own life anyway. And so I do feel kind of like this sudden opening of like, wow, this whole time I've been feeling like worst case scenario, this is the worst thing that could be happening. Now I have to change. Now I have to go. And like just all this really, really hard mental, it's grief. It's grief because I don't want to leave because, my soul dog died in this apartment. And like, there's so many things like that. You get attached to places. Like I cry every time I leave an apartment, every time I leave, obviously, a relationship, every time I get a new car. Like I had a stuffed animal one time I love stuffed animals. I have 2 right now, but I love them. I attach to them. They're comfort for me. And I had a stuffed animal die, not die, but get washed in the washing machine, and I didn't know what was happening. I had bundled it up with my bedding, and it ruined it. And that was like a symbol of attachment for me. Like I feel like that little monkey with this little stuffed animal, but I genuinely did grieve that. Like that's the intensity of how I feel. My energy fuses with the things around me. So yeah, there's a lot to feel and process through right now. I feel like the grief is lessening and the more excitement and opening is happening. Like, wow, anything could happen. That's what I keep telling myself. I think, oh, I'm leaving. I think, oh, I hope that like the situation that's causing all the issues will leave. I hope, like I'm only seeing these like couple of pathways. But then I was just thinking, I could go out to the library and like see a listing for something, like, or meet somebody, or like there are all these different ways that the universe can bring things to you, but you have to be willing to step into that discomfort and that fear, like get out of your comfort zone in a way. Like I'm not one to feel like, yeah, go get out of your comfort zone and do things that, terrify you, because for somebody like me, that's actually a dysregulating experience. I don't do well like going and blasting out into like way beyond my comfort zone. It's got to be like your comfort zone and then you kind of just step out a little bit. That's the type of comfort zone I'm talking about. So, well, we'll see what happens with kind of all that new excitement around it, because it is like this could turn out really well. This could be exciting, and this could possibly, be the thing. The worst case scenario kind of happening could be the thing that takes me to the best case scenario. And so, yeah, abundance, that's a good one too. There are abundant possibilities. Anything could be possible. And the fact that my brain is even thinking of that right now makes me feel really like grateful and proud of myself for being in this like dark place for so long, having to grieve, go through just like such a dark underworld thing over and over in my life. And then, but to have that seed of suddenly, and it's genuine too. It's not like I kept telling myself while I was in that dark place to just think positive, just reach for a better thought, like something good could come out of this, because I wouldn't have believed it at that time. That was not true for me at that time. At that time, what I needed to do was just every moment needed to be, how do I get through this moment? How do I get through this moment? How do I get through this moment? But the true excitement, the true opening, the true like, this is felt in my body that this could take me somewhere really good and really exciting. That is just so, it's just so meaningful for me right now. And I'm really, really glad to have kind of that, even just feeling rise up in me, even if nothing else around me changes for months, let's say, the energy shift that's come out of the dark is what I'm feeling really excited about. So I'm going to pull Nature's Whispers card, which is the one I always like on here to close out. Oh, it's getting light. It's 6:50 in the morning here, and it's already light out. My videos were just being done completely in the dark, but we're going to be in like 50s this week in Oregon. We didn't have really a winter at all, which is really going to be unfortunate for wildfire season. And that's another thing too, like maybe the universe is telling me you need to get out of this place, because maybe wildfire season will be really bad and this place doesn't exist anymore, like, not to be like morbid, but that's true, like where you get caught in traffic and the route you were going to take, you find out somebody got into like a fatal car accident and you would have been in that like exact moment, like you get protected all these different ways. And that's where I keep having to like switch my thought into, not even switch it, it's just coming to me like, oh yeah, this could be something protecting me, and it likely is, that's like what I'm looking at, like, and I'm also seeing it as a sign from my dog that died. Like she is saying to me, like she's sending me a sign. We always look at signs from our animals past, or our human people who have passed, like, oh, they sent a bird to the window, oh, there was a butterfly, and all those things. I truly, like, I've had those experiences and I know them, like the light, happy ones, but maybe the also very intense ones that are grabbing at your attention are signs from them too, protecting you, guiding you, saying like, don't just be complacent, don't sit here and do nothing. And that's where I'm at too with seeing it as, I can hear you, I hear you, I hear you, I'm listening. I'm not going to just keep fighting it. I'm not going to keep putting energy into it. I'm going to listen, and I'm going to make decisions based off of forward motion. New experiences and possibilities, you guys. What? Card number 18. Well, I literally have goosebumps right now. I don't know if you can tell. I don't know if you can see. I literally have goosebumps. Anyway. Wow. Felt that so intensely. Okay. Look around in nature. Notice the new beginnings, new experiences, and new choices being shown to you. They will only be evident to you if you take the time to look for these subtle messages. You are on the first steps along a new path. Okay. You are being offered a blank page. What are the first words you would like to write on it? Your possibilities are endless. You are in complete control of your life. This is a new beginning on your journey. Live in the present and trust in your own abilities. Plant your seeds and willingly venture into new territory. I'm like shocked. I'm feeling speechless. I couldn't have planned that. Like, that was absolutely a sign. Like, that was a huge message from the universe to wrap that up. I hope you got something out of that. And thanks so much for being here. I will see you guys next week on Thursday. And I hope Mercury retrograde and all the things, like, it's all going to bring forward something new, something exciting. The possibilities are open and they're not just one terrible, scary track forward. There's so many ways that things can open up for you. So believe in that. And I'm so excited that this reading just kind of solidified everything that I've been feeling with the energy and my own experience and just in general. So I appreciate you so much and I love you guys. I'll see you next week.